welcome to the Learning Pro Live. My name's Cath Ellis, and yeah, really glad to be here. Yesterday I was doing a super session at Tech Knowledge, and I kind of forgot how knackered I would be. It was from, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. my time, and then in the morning I was like, I can't do this. So here I am, one day, miss one day. I'm trying to do this every day. So, how are you all? We're going to talk a little bit about branding. So those of you who've tuned in, I know we've got some people online, let me know, what questions do you have? We're going to specifically focus on branding for your business. How do you go about building a collection of assets that you can use on your portfolio, on your website? How do you go about choosing colors? How do you go about choosing fonts? How do you go about choosing whether you're going to have a logo or whether you're going to use text? And where you can go to get some really cool little assets, like intros, backgrounds and different things like that. So I'm going to try and impart as much as I can, and hopefully you'll find it useful. For those of you who have a portfolio, let me know, what kind of things are you using? There's a really great site that I use, and let me bring it up. Well, actually what I should say is I use a number of sites, but there's a number of great ones that can get you started if you're looking to create a logo. So just bear with me. I'll bring it up. So this website is called Place It, and here we go. This is certainly somewhere that you can look at to get inspiration for your business. You might find that it's not something that you want to maybe do from scratch. However, once you have kind of gone down the route of creating a logo, for example. Hi, Tanya. How are you this morning? We're talking about branding. We're talking about, whether you're deciding to go freelance and you're working out, you want to kind of have a curated look and feel. You're working out, do I need a logo that has an actual icon? Can I use my name? So we're looking at basically what is out there, what can help you, where you can go to get inspiration, etc. Sonica's here as well. Hi, Sonica. Very good. I'm glad you're good. Well, for those of you who tuned in, jump in and let me know, what kind of are you guys using right now? So for me, I spent a lot of time on Dribbble looking for inspiration. It was a long time before tools like this were out, but this is actually quite cool. So I might just show you some of the things that are available. So I'm just typed in here, logo. Okay. And what's really nice about this is if you don't have a great amount of maybe design isn't your strongest point, you can basically see if you can create something from here. So let's have a quick look what we've got. So I'm just trying to look and see, is there anything that's going to be appropriate for a freelance business. I'm just looking. Just looking. So what you can do is you can take this to the next level. Well, actually, I can just encourage you guys to go on and have a look at it, and I might just go in and just make an edit to one of these. So it's placeit.net, and you can see here that you can actually start making amendments. Now, there's certainly ups and downsides of using some of these tools. Sonica said, I created my logo mark a while back, just didn't use it. I need to spend more time researching. Yeah, it's not easy. So let's just put something a bit silly here and put and go LX Designer. So see, you can literally just choose what fonts you want. Okay, we'll just leave these ones, and we might say Vancouver. You can see you've got an option here that you can change we want to make it transparent, the line, so you can change all of these little bits, and you can also go as far as start changing the actual design as well. So for some people, this just would be way too complicated to do. So, you know, we might even say, I actually can't remember where you're from, Sonica. Or you could say, oh. Actually, let's just do that. Let's just go back to LX Designer. I want to know why. Oh, okay. Yeah. And I'm just going to go established 2020. Of course, this is probably a really bad example, but at least it gives you something. You're from Melbourne. Why did I not know that you're from Melbourne, Sonica? We obviously need to catch up. I'm from Melbourne for now. Oh, where are you off to? So here we've just got a little logo. Again, what's kind of nice over here is you can do something different if you want. Right. Like I said, you know, these aren't kind of the best things that you would do. You would use. You really need to go in and look and see what's there. Okay, so let's say we quite like that. You're quite happy with these colours, right? And go to download. So what this allows you to do is you can actually sign up for a month, right? Or you can sign up for a year, or you can buy a one-off logo. Downside is their PNG. So let me log in, because I actually have an account. These are all different different things that I've done. All right. So let's just see that PDF, because I'd like to see if you can actually, if this comes through as a vector. That'd be quite interesting. Now this is me going down the route of an actual logo, right? And I probably didn't choose the best one. So let's just download this. And I'm just going to put it on my desktop. And I'm actually going to open this. Open with Adobe Illustrator. I'm learning alongside you guys. Right, so that's really interesting. So if you download the PDF, you actually will have a fully vectorized version of the logo, which I think is actually really, really cool. So let's say you've done your logo and you're like, oh yeah, this is what I want. What's nice about Place It is you can actually, there's just loads and loads of templates. So, you know, if you go to designs, you've got all different kinds of things. So business cards. All right. So again, you can start looking at different business cards. But what I wanted to show you was the videos. So you can actually do little like animated logo intros and things. So let's just, no, that's not what I want. Video Maker. Intro templates. So, you know, if you're doing like, you know, you're wanting a little intro video for the start of a project or even for your business. That's it. You've got the opportunity here to do exactly the same. So let's say that logo that we had, right? You're happy with that. It's nice. It's high definition. We're just going to go File, Export. Actually, I did the wrong thing. I want to go File. Export selection, and I'm just going to leave it as a PNG. I'm going to put it on my desktop. I'm going to put logo design. So then what you can do is here, logo, upload your logo. I'm showing you all my junk. Where did I put it? Where did it go? Okay, so we can resize that probably. I've chosen all the worst templates here. But you get your drift. If you go in, you can have a nice play with this. So there's lots and lots of things that you can do. And there's lots of tools that are out there that can help you if you're wanting to design things like logos and you're like, oh, you know, I don't really have a very, you know, my design skills maybe aren't that strong. So another route that we can go while we're downloading this. Yeah, so not the best example, but you get my drift. If you go on to, I mean, it's really about doing research, right? So if you go on to, yeah, Sonica, those were editable as well. So just the same, you can change the fonts, you can change the, you could actually upload your own video into it. So let's just take this video back. Right. So this was obviously a boxing video. So for us, it might be more appropriate to do something like update slide. So I've just chose code, like someone doing some coding. So we can do the same. We can go LX design. I forgot what fonts we used. And then I'm just going to put Vancouver. And let's just change the color to something a bit dark. So again, it's saying what transition. Let's just update that again. And I'm just going to, you know, you can put any kind of hex in. Let's just, I'm just going to put my own colours in there. There you go, that looks different, doesn't it? So the video, there was obviously another video. Ah, okay. So let's just bring this person in. Let's just see if that makes a difference. So that looks good. We're just going to update. See what I mean, Sonica, about them being editable? And it looks like there's a really good amount of fonts that you can choose from. So for example, mine that I use is Poppins, so that's there. So if I just wanted to very quickly go just a regular Poppins, okay, so that looks like it is. I just want it to be alright, that's fine, and I'm just going to do it again. Right, I don't like that colour though. Oh. It's like, that's not my colour. So it looks like you have to go, just close it out that way for it to apply. So let's have a look at how this looks now. And if I just actually take it to one level up, pretty sure I've got a white logo there. Okay, and I'm actually going to change it, Melbourne. All right, so let's just see how that looks. Sonica said, yes, thank you. I tend to make things from scratch since I have the benefit of the skills, but I like the idea of using these templates to reduce the development time and focus on the learning experience. Absolutely, Sonica. So this is if you wanted to do a logo. I mean, you're not obliged to use a logo. If you look at, let's just have a look at some very, very popular companies that use a font, right? So one is the Future. That I should really spell right. Okay, so the Future, that's just a text font. Now they've obviously okay, so let's just try and just show you how easy this is. Okay. Actually, now the Future, I'm pretty sure used Futura as the font. Where is it? Why am I not finding what I want? Why am I not finding what I want? That's what I want. All right. Okay. I thought I had Futura, but I clearly don't. Let's just bring it in. Okay. Let's just make this a bit bigger. Okay. And Future. Okay. So the future, for example, I don't think it's quite as heavy as that. I would say it's probably bold. So what they've done is they've made some slight amendments. So what you can do is, so that looks fine, right? But what you could do is you can start making little flourishes to some of these. So if we can see, they've customized that T. So if I just go to object expand. Okay. I'm just going to do it a couple of times. Yeah. So what they have actually done is they've been able to make their own kind of custom version of this. Yeah, so there you go. That's all they've done. Okay, so you know, I think the kerning is obviously a little bit tighter than what this is, but you can play around and make some just general fonts work really well for you. Another business, AJ and Smart. Just thinking of ones on the top of my head that have just a very simple logo, right? AJ and Smart. So again, if we just go and bring up Illustrator, and look, I'm hoping you can find this useful because you're not tied into having a logo. I have two. I have a text base and a logo. I'm trying to actually have this so you can see the logo at the same time. Just move this down. All right. Now, AJ and Smart, I'm not 100% what font they've used. But it's really as simple as you putting a bit of personality on it. So AJ and Smart. What it might actually even be the same. So here we've got AJ and Smart. No, so the T's different. Wonder what font they've used. Let me find it. AJ and Smart logo font. Could it be? No. No. So we'll just leave it as this. So again, all they've done is they've made a tiny change, okay, by going to expand it. Then they've taken the logo, they've made it significantly smaller, and then they brought their logo over. So this is a different font, but at least you get the idea, guys, that with a little bit of, you know, with a little bit of work, you can come up with a great logo. So mine is Poppins. Okay. And I've got two levels, right? So I've got a, I'm pretty sure it's black and a light. Okay, so if I go Cath Ellis, light, yeah. And obviously I did a little bit of work on my logo mark, but it's not necessary, right? Guys, what's your thoughts on this? Has this been any use? So what I'll do is I will consider a few things. For example, I'm putting together the branding for the community. So let's just show you what I did there. The learningpro.community. So the website is up, but it's not live. I'm literally working on it today. And because it's part of, it's a spin-off basically from my YouTube channel, I've just applied same font, Poppins. I found some imagery that works for me. So it's all placeholder text at the moment. So it's just really about you working out what's going to be a great hero, you know, what, for example, would I be happy seeing on the top of all of my social media channels, etc. So again, if we go and look at the future, Christo is obviously the head honcho of the future, the face behind the future. So there are a number of images that they've had. They've got this blue that is their hero color. They use this yellow. Okay. They don't actually use Futura font. So there's different fonts that they're using here. Calibri. Okay. So there's no specific fonts. There's no specific rules in this. You know, again, for myself, you know, so they're using Noto Sans. Noto Sans. And this was just a little plugin that I use, guys, on Chrome called What the Font. What Font? So they've got hero colors. Right, and they're continuing to just utilize this throughout the whole website. So I do things like this. I look at different websites. I go, okay, so what have they got? They've got these hero images. They've chosen fonts that they need. They've got a nice color scheme that they've chosen. Sonica said, how did you select the color for your brands? So that's a good question. And yes, I'm always looking for resources to make work less tedious. It was a long time that I did my choosing colors, and I'm actually pretty sure that I just found an example of the color on Dribble somewhere, and I just bookmarked it and went from there. But there are now really nice little tools, so I'm pretty sure Happy Hues is one. that I bookmarked recently. That's actually a really cool little tool that was made by Mackenzie Child, who's a YouTuber, and you know, so for example, this is showing what it looks like to use different hues fully through the site. So this for me, if I was starting out, would have been very helpful because it's showing me, okay, so you do different sections with different colors, and you know, of course, I think our industry is quite conservative. What do you reckon, guys? So, you know, I probably wouldn't go with crazy colors, but certainly a color scheme like this is great. And of course, it's pretty much building a design system for you, you know. So you can see here that links, so this is Mackenzie Child. Any call to actions are in that specific color. What else is in that color? Yeah. Okay, so again, just look how simple that is, just happy hues. So, you know, for those of you who are actually holding off from going live because you're like, I just don't, I can't see how I could get started. There's tools like that you know, can definitely give you, you know, can get you a start. So, you know, you could basically use something like this. I'm trying to think if there's any others. I'm pretty sure this is another tool that I use that's really useful. It's just a plugin. I'm trying to think what this was called. I've done an Infinity new tab, so I put all my shortcuts here, so never really have to search for anything. Again, this is a really cool tool, so you can look for palettes, look for what's trendy, what's popular. Okay, so it's saying that this color scheme, you know, it's had this many likes. It's been around for 5 years, so you can look and see, okay, what's recent. You know, this is really pretty. You know, so you've got different tools out there that basically you can utilize to help get you started with that. So what we've looked at today is we've looked at different tools that are out there that you can create logos, create things like, you know, these intro openers. And I won't name any names, but I know there's some really good designers out there who use these. I mean, this one, did it even have a sound effect? No. Some of them I know do have, oh yeah, it does have a sound effect. I think you'd have to download it to actually hear the sound effect, but you can choose, you know, what kind of song you want behind it. So, you know, if you went down the route, you do want a logo, or, so if we just go, you may just want like an abstract kind of something or other. You know, just, it's all about just doing a bit of research. I mean, that looks really great. Some of the tips that I would say to you, oh, here you go. So if we say design and type your brand name, okay, let's just go Cath Ellis. This is probably going to be cool. It's just going to change it for all of these different logos. I mean, some of it's hideous, obviously. But I guarantee you that there would be something here that you would be able to use. And again, just having that question in your mind, do you need an actual logo type? Do you need an icon? You know, you might find, sorry, I skipped over that quick. You might find that something like consulting brings you back better results. Even though I'd say if you're in a situation where this kind of stuff is coming back, you might as well not utilize it. It's not great. I mean, I don't mind that. I think that, and again, just to give you ideas of colour schemes, I think things like that can look quite good. Yeah, but I wouldn't personally do a logo like this. I'd be more inclined to use a font. You know, and again, it really depends what you're kind of wanting to achieve. You might find a logo in here that's absolutely adorable. I saw on the last page there was ones with little dogs. You know, like I've got 3 dogs. I love them, and they're actually part of my life. You know, this is really cute, but it's, you know, I mean, again, I kind of need a logo to, like, this isn't hideous, but I'd probably be happier just creating something with, you know, something bespoke, you know. We've been going for like 40 minutes. Tanya says, I'm always torn between a logo and just mocked up text. Yeah, the logo has to be a right fit. Absolutely. So I wouldn't rush to do anything like this, but it will certainly give you some ideas of color schemes. I think it's, yeah, I know, 3 dogs, it's hard work sometimes. I'd certainly say that just doing a little bit of research and, you know, even finding just a nice font that you can use will be so much better. So once you've got your logo designed, let's just say we use the future, all you'll do is you'll highlight it, go to export selection. This is if you're in Illustrator, and I'm just going to put that on my desktop, and I'm going to call that future logo. You can export it out as an SVG or PNG. You wouldn't do a JPEG because you want it to be transparent in the background. Let's just say it's that we do. And then I'm just going to show you what that would look like. So there you go. You can apply that into any project that you're working on. So yeah, you know, I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about branding. That there are a lot of tools out there that weren't there 5 years ago, basically when I revamped my website. You know, even the things like the background image here, right, that I've been using on all my videos, right? That was just an iStock. And again, I'm pretty sure that I just did something like abstract background. And I want to do, you know, you want something that's a vector, okay, that you can make changes to. So mine was something like this. That I just said, well, I don't like the stripes and the dots and things like that, that I just removed. But again, you know, once you find those images that work for you, you can repurpose it as backgrounds on your you know, Instagram stories, or your thumbnail on the top of LinkedIn. So if you see now, I'm pretty much using that image on the top of everything that I do, you know. So even when I won a couple of awards recently, I used it as background, so people are starting to see, oh, well, this is Cath. So, and again, I used iStock, but you can go to FreePick. And if we do the same, go abstract background. Okay, it's going to be exactly the same. Filters, go to vector, because you want to be able to make amendments to it. And yeah, that's a great start. I mean, again, that looks very similar to mine. So again, you can look at recent or popular. A lot of the time I'll filter things down as well, so I just want to have a look at really newer stuff, so I can look at newer trends out there, you know. Same goes for things like logos. So the thing about these websites is you need to check and see whether you can actually use some of these logos. FreePick, for example, in their terms and conditions, won't allow you to use a logo commercially. And that is, yeah, it's written somewhere on the site, but you can get some really great ideas. You know, so I mean, even if I found, you know, my name was an ST, you know, I'd be like, that's actually pretty cool. I could definitely use something like that, and I might just go and recreate something that was quite similar. I'd use it to get some ideas. Again, you've got great images, so you know, I do searches for things like freelancer or designer. If I was looking for an actual image, so I would be looking at photos for that. And again, I try and stay away from things that are really stock imagery. You know, no one does that at work, you know. You know, or that, it's just too stocky, it's too cheesy. So, you know, you want to have something that's going to represent you more. And again, you can filter via color. So if you were wanting to filter that down and you were using kind of a yellow hue, you could do something like that. So I'm going to wrap up. I think a couple of you are having to run. I think I'd used Futura for my word mark as well. Yeah, really, really, really solid font. You'd be surprised with how many logos have been designed with certain fonts and have been adjusted. So I'll wrap up, guys. We'll see you again on Monday. Hopefully I'll have the community up and running and I can invite you guys in. The community is 100% free. I'm not going to charge you to give you a place to go and chat. And look, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that this has been beneficial. For those of you who come at the tail end, we basically talked a little bit about branding, colours. We talked about I showed a couple of sites on where you can get logo inspiration, where you can create some little assets, where you can go to find great imagery. So I hope you find it useful. We will continue this conversation as always, and I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.